Hey guys! Before we start a new program on Monday, I wanted to just pop on and talk about some logistics things. So I'm going to start with a story that I've told before, but we've got a lot of new faces, so I want to make sure that I hit this story again because I think that it's important to do so. So a Stanford professor came to an elementary school in the area and said to the staff, would it be okay if I pulled out some of your students and tested them? I've invented this new IQ test and I want to take some time testing it out, seeing how it works. This IQ test is different than any that's ever been invented before, and it tests kids in a different way than they've been tested before. So do you mind if I do that? Of course, the elementary school is like, oh my gosh, Stanford, yes, absolutely, take whoever you need. So the professor gets access to all of the records. He pulls the brightest of the bright and administers this test with these students. At the end of the test, he pulls out the teachers, the kids, and the parents and says, listen, these kids are literally the brightest of the bright. I'm going to come back 3 months from today. I'm going to retest, but I need you guys in the meantime to be pouring into these students. They are the brightest of the bright, so make sure you're spending one-on-one time with them, make sure you're engaging with them, make sure you're giving them challenging work, and you're thinking outside the box for how you can teach them, because these kids are going to be something, they're going somewhere. And I can tell even from this young age, these are Stanford quality kind of kids. These are who we're looking for. So make sure you're pouring into them as much as they need so that when they grow up, they can thrive and succeed, right? So for 3 months, these students get poured into by their teachers, by their parents, by one another. The words that they're telling themselves is about how smart they are and how much, higher above all the other students they are. The Stanford professor comes back in 3 months and readministers the exact same test. The results were that 100% of those kids tested went up in their test score. Now, the Stanford professor pulls aside the parents, the students, and the teachers and says, listen, I literally pick and chose these students by doing this. There's no rhyme or reason to it. But the reason that 100% of the students got a higher test score is because of the words that were spoken over them. I tell you guys all the time, our brains seek to prove themselves right. So the words that were spoken over these students is, you're the brightest of the bright. You're Stanford material. The teachers treated these kids different. The students treated these kids different. The parents treated these kids different. So here's my challenge to you in starting a new program. You're the brightest of the bright. You're the strongest of the strong. You've got this. Tell yourself that. Now, for those of you starting Sure Thing, it's gonna be challenging. Sure Thing is not a beginner, easy breezy program. Make it work for you. Don't go into the workout and say, oh, I can't do this. This is so hard. This is so challenging. What I want you guys to do is set yourself up for success. So even if that means starting this workout program with 0 weight, it's fine. Start the program with 0 weight. The good news is with these programs, you guys, you can always come back and do them again. And when you do them again, so Divya is a perfect example. The first time Divya did MBF, she did it without weight because she had hurt her shoulder. She's starting MBF again on Monday with weight because she got herself into a place where she's strong enough now, her shoulder's repaired enough that she can start lifting weights again. So my challenge to you is, if you start Sure Thing and you're pouring sweat and you're so exhausted, your body feels broken, take a breath, put down the weights, and keep going. Now, Megan talks all the time about a modified move is not a less than move. It's just a different move. So for starting Sure Thing, I want you to remind yourself of that. Modifications are not less than. They're just a variant of the workout. They're just something different. So the words I want you speaking over yourself are words of life. Words that are, oh my gosh, I'm so strong. I loved Mia's post today where she's in the, I'm just gonna do it, where she's in this position and she's like, you guys, I couldn't do this before. I mean, that's a huge win. And Mia, I love that you said, I wasn't gonna post this because my belly and because the Patriots flag and because, but you did it anyway. You spoke life over yourself in that post, and you guys, that is so valuable and important. I've got quotes hanging up in my workout space. I'm sure you've seen them in my posts and my pictures and stuff. But mine, I've got my why up there. And then the rest of my stuff is all life-giving words that in the moment where I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can do this, I read my posts up there and I'm like, no, Kizzy, you're capable of hard things. You've done hard things before. Now, saying that, I don't want you guys to break your bodies. So if something is actually painful, put the weights down. If something is tweaking your shoulder or hurting your back or stretching your hip flexor too far, take a breather, but don't stop. So let's say I'm doing a move with my 20-pound dumbbells and I'm like, oh gosh, that really didn't feel good on my shoulder. I'm gonna switch to tens. I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. I'm 40 freaking years old. Like, we're not here to prove anything to anybody. We're just here to be the best versions of ourselves. So before starting Monday, I want you to take some time. I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to be like, wow, I'm a badass. I'm really good at this. My muscles are strong. My body is responding. I am doing something that's good for my heart. I'm doing something that's good for my physical body. I'm doing something that's so good for my brain. I'm giving myself place to grow. Okay, this is a random side tangent. Sorry, this is getting longer than I intended. But I was listening to a podcast the other day and I thought this was so good. The guys said that a new study has just been released that people that work out often handle problems better than those who don't. And it's because people that work out often hit that point where you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot do one more rep. Or, oh my gosh, my lungs are on fire. Oh my gosh, I can't even lift my arms again. But what do? We push through because it's what we do. It's who we are. We were made to do hard things. So then the translation is, I was made to do hard things, not just in this space, not just in my gym, but I was made to do hard things at church, and I was made to do hard things in my kitchen, and I was made to do hard things in relationship, and I was made to have those hard conversations, and guess what? I can do it. And I know that I can do it because I prove it to myself every single morning. So, all that to say, you guys are amazing. You're rock stars, and I would not want to be on this journey with anybody else. I'm so thankful that you're here, and I need you. So please keep pushing play. Keep engaging in the group because we need one another. Keep telling yourself those words of life that you need to hear, that you're strong, that you're powerful, that you can do hard things, that you're capable of hard things. My challenge to you before Monday, I got a couple. 1, make sure you've picked your why. Why are you working out? What's your main goal? 2, make sure that why then has small goals, small achievable goals next to it. 3, pick out a reward for yourself at the end of Sure Thing. You're going to work out hard for 8 weeks. You're going to do a lot of things that you feel like, oh my gosh, am I capable of this? Work towards a goal. Work towards something where you're working for that prize. Like, that's an incentive for us. It keeps us going. 4, keep engaging in the group. 5, don't break your body. So when you're hurting, when you're sore, it's okay to go to the lower weights. We can always do Sure Thing again. Don't break your body and don't give up. Okay? Keep on keeping on. Next thing, on the days that you're really sore, Recover is your friend. That's something, especially when I'm switching programs or when I've done a really hard workout, I drink Recover, and it's something that I do often, especially as we age. Our bodies need more, it's like BCAAs or something to help with muscle development and growth, which also then helps with osteoporosis as we age. So that's something that's super important that we maintain for body health. If you're sore, drink more water. If you're sore, take an Epsom salt bath. If you're sore, you might need to ice your knees sometimes, or you might need to ice your ankles, or you might need to take a break with a heating pad. But please don't give up. I believe in you. You've got this. The other thing I want you to take a minute to do this weekend, if you can, is do some meal prep and planning, because you know that silly sign, like abs weren't made in the, or abs are made in the kitchen. It's true. I mean, like, we can't just work out in here for 30 minutes every day and then not treat our bodies as such for the rest of the day. So aim for some sort of meal planning this week. Even if, like I just said to the girls a little bit ago, I was like, well, there we go. At least Tuesday's lunch is done. This weekend is full and it's crazy and it's all great things, but I can't do my typical 2-hour chunk on Saturday of meal prep and planning. I just don't have the time this weekend. But what I told them today is, it's okay. Tuesday is done. So I'm able to be successful for Tuesday, because Monday is still a holiday, even though we're starting Sure Thing, but I'm already prepped for Monday. But you know what I'm saying. Like, Tuesday is done, so at least I have a day. So even if you don't have hours and hours this weekend, it's fine. Do something to set yourself up for success this week. This week I'm going to be posting tips and tricks on how to help if you're feeling sore, how to help you be successful, that kind of a thing. But if you've got any questions or comments, feel free to reach out. I want to help you through this program. I'm so excited to do it with you. I think it's going to be great. And for those of you that aren't doing Sure Thing, tell us below what program you're starting on Monday, because I want to help make sure that I'm cheering you on as well. Okay? Thanks, guys.